Hi guys, welcome to another video by the knitting artist, aka me, Lisa. I'm going to talk to you guys about color and inspiration and where mine comes from and all the beautiful things that I make. So let's get started. Today's video, we're going to be diving into a different series of paintings that I've done. So if you remember, or if you've seen the first few that I've created, those were all inspired by some of my early paintings, which were landscapes. I actually had a couple of colorways I did from other paintings in those series. But those colorways have since been discontinued because they weren't selling very well, and I didn't really like dyeing them. So I'm not going to do videos about them right now, mainly because I actually don't have any yarn to show off. So we're just going to move on, and we're going to talk about the next series of paintings that I created after my basic landscapes. And this colorway I'm showing you guys today is actually one of my newest colorways, but it's the first painting that was in the series we're going to talk about. So this colorway is called Beneath Wandering Thoughts. It's a nice springy pink, green, yellow. Hold on, let me adjust that. Okay, so this colorway it's a lot like Mushroom Petal Bloom in the colors that I use. In fact, the earlier versions of Mushroom Petal Bloom looked a lot like this, the ones I was doing with the Kool-Aid before I ventured into acid dyes. But obviously this one is not the same by any means. It has, I can't breathe. We got this. Okay, it has pinks, both light and dark, as well as pops of bright green, pops of bright yellow, and pops of bright purple. So Mushroom Petal Bloom was very maroon, deeper pinks, deeper greens, deeper purples. This is very bright, sunny, spring, Easter-y, especially the speckle version. I absolutely am in love with this speckle version. It just makes me so happy in pretty much every way. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the painting. The painting is titled Beneath Wandering Thoughts. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen. It is a very horizontal painting. The original dimensions, I think, were like 50 by 30. I no longer have this painting. I sold it back during the residency, actually very shortly after I painted it. So this is the first in a series that I started during the second half of my Navasota Artist in Residence, and I called this series the Enchant Knit Forest because all the paintings that I did during this time had trees in them, and I am a huge fan of puns. If I can use a pun, I'm going to use a pun. So this was the Enchant Knit Forest. Yeah. So anyway, this painting was originally, everybody always thinks that, oh, you must have got the idea from the truffle trees in Dr. Seuss because that's what they look like, and it's pink and green and it's got all those colors. And yeah, now that it's painted, that is definitely an inspiration and I can see it. But if I'm being honest, that is actually not where I got the inspiration from. So the initial inspiration came from, well, let me take a step back. I had also been doing smaller studies in gouache for a while, and I had done a smaller painting in gouache of this same composition. I'll put, if I can find a picture, it'll be on your screen. And that one was mostly not quite as not as much color happening, mostly just pink and green. And that initial idea for that painting actually came from a concept art I saw in The Art of the Princess and the Frog. So there was one specific concept art drawing that I found, and it was them as frogs, and they were looking up at a field of dandelions. Or maybe it was that they were pink, so maybe not dandelions, maybe it was just like little puff flowers, kind of like the truffle trees, or even the little flower in Horton Hears a Who. So they're looking up at these pink puff flowers, and I just remember thinking it would be so cool if I did a composition where you're on the ground and you're looking up at the trees, and the trees are the knitting. So instead of just having the knitted forms, you're getting the trees themselves are the knitting. So I did this little gouache painting, And I really, really liked it, and I wanted to do more trees. So when the time came for me to kind of start thinking about what I was going to do for my next painting, big painting, I decided to go with that composition and kind of up it a little bit. Obviously, add some more trees, add some more color. At the time when I first started it, I had been painting on wood and panels just because somebody had given me some, and I wanted to see how that worked as opposed to canvas. Safe to say, I decided I preferred canvas, but I was actually going to paint this painting on a smaller scale on a panel. And I had started it, but I just wasn't really feeling where it was going, so it was kind of on pause. And I remember going to some Houston openings a weekend shortly after I had started this painting on the panel and seeing some very large, like 50 by 60, you know, like 4-foot paintings on a wall, and thinking how much of an impact my art would have if it was on that scale. And so I examined those paintings really, really close. I looked at my watch. I saw that the art supply store in Houston was closing in 10 minutes. I left the gallery. I ran to the art supply store, and I bought stretcher bars to make this horizontal painting 50 by 30. It might be 60. I need to look at my website. I think it was 50. 50 inches wide, 30 inches tall, because I wanted a rectangle. And if I remember correctly, I think I also bought some other stretcher bars that day to do a couple other ones, which became later paintings. But anyway, I went back to Navasota, stretched the canvas, primed it, was ready to go, started this painting. The rest is history. At the time, once I finished it, I was declaring it my best painting to date. I still think it is one of my best paintings. It's one of my favorite paintings. I'm very sad that I sold it, but I hope the person who bought it is enjoying it in their house. It's just a lovely painting. I love the pinks. I love the greens. The landscape is just, it's beautiful. So that's the story of the art. I think it translates really well into the yarn. So I'm going to take y'all over to my table. I'll lay out the colors for you like I always do, and then we'll come back and we will talk about patterns. Okay, so this is the colorway Beneath Wandering Thoughts all laid out. Because this is a horizontal painting, when I was showing you the maps on the other ones, they were always vertical, but since this one is horizontal, the top of the painting, referring to the top left and working clockwise, is actually right here. But the way I always start dyeing is in this top corner, so when I was mapping it out, this is in line with the painting. That probably makes no sense. So we're going to start here as we talk about the colors. So up here, this is the top left corner. I've put the image on the screen for you guys as well. This is that straight up and down lollipop tree that's growing. So the pink with the reflections of the green. And then we get into the sky and the other lollipop tree that's right behind it, which is a paler pink with some bits of dark pink. As we're moving across, we get to that big, huge tree on the top right, which is got so many colors in it that I just kind of decided to play a little bit. And I used this yellow as that background color that's behind it, and then the pink and the purple and the green for the actual tree. And then we get back into the background color again. We get into the pink field that is underneath it. That's got a mixture of both dark and light pink. And then we get into the greens and the yellows that are all over the ground down there, as well as the little tiny tree. And we finally get back up towards the left, where we have a nice dark blue shadow underneath the straight up and down tree, and pink shadow, pink sky underneath that tree. So this one, because there was so much going on, I had to simplify it. And so obviously there's a lot more color happening in this painting, and there's a lot more patches in places. But as a dyer, there's only so much I can do before my brain just explodes. So it's been simplified a little bit, but you still get the general idea of the different colors that I'm using. And you can definitely tell that this is one I have to squirt bottle, have to hand paint, because there's just so much. I can't BS it, essentially. Yeah, so that is the colorway Beneath Wandering Thoughts. I'm going to put up a quick stop motion, time-lapse video of me dyeing a skein of it, and then I'll go back and we'll talk about bases and patterns. I hope y'all enjoyed learning about my color and seeing me dye up the yarn. I'm now going to just talk to you guys briefly about the different bases that I have and some of the different ideas that I have for this specific colorway. So, as always, my go-to base is the light fingering. The dye on this one actually has turned out super, super vibrant. I really, really like this pop of purple and the pops of pink that I got with that, as well as the areas of light pink. I also have it in the speckle paint water version, which again is probably my favorite. A couple of my friends have said it reminds them of like the candy necklaces, or like I think of cotton candy, carnivals. This is very carnival-y, very spring, very Eastery. And then I do have a solid to go with it, just one for now, and that is called Bubblegum Fields for obvious reasons. The three of them pair together as always really, really well. Let's see if I can figure that out. Boom. Here, I'm gonna put it this way. Check that out. Those three, again, very nice fade. When I started dyeing this pink, which was just about a month ago, I decided it was pretty much my new favorite color. Absolutely love it. It's a beautiful pink, beautiful, beautiful pink. I'm also dyeing this colorway on my new DK base. And on the new DK base, the colors are equally vibrant. In fact, they're even a little bit more vibrant. And this yarn is so squishy that I just have to knit with it. The pink turned out very, very dark. In fact, I like this pink better than the light pink, so I think I'm going to try and get my next batch of the light pink to be this dark because it's just beautiful. So those three together, awesome. I think I'm going to design a cowl or something with these, so be on the lookout in the next couple months. And then, of course, I also have my sock and my silky singles. So the sock, as always, is more matte, and it's a little bit paler, but I still love the pops of yellow and the pops of green that are showing through in this. And the silky single is also paler, but it's got that nice sheen, that nice silk that I just love. And I did dye the pink in the silky single, so that would be fun together. And I don't have any samples in this colorway yet because it is my newest colorway. I only started dyeing it probably in like February. But I am getting ready to cast on a sweater today, and I'm going to be using these three. So I'm going to be using these two, which is the Paint Water Speckle version and Bubblegum Fields, and then I picked out this bright yellow from my Color Wheel collection, which is a series of solids that I dye that I think just goes with it absolutely perfectly. So the sweater is a striping sweater. It's called La Fontaine. I'm going to put a photo up on the screen for you guys to see. But it's going to be starting with this color and then striping these two together and then striping these two together. So I just think it's going to be fun. It's going to be springy. Hopefully I'll have that done in time for Houston Fiber Fest. I've been knitting like crazy lately on quarantine, so that really shouldn't be a problem. But as always, if you see something you like and you want it, check my shop. You're welcome to reach out to me, ask me for more photos, or ask me questions about my colors. And remember, I am The Knitting Artist. My website is theknittingartist.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as The Knitting Artist. And yeah, give me a follow, send me some messages, tell me how much you love my stuff, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Bye.